Welcome to Grow and Glow, the channel where we're going to grow together. Now here in northern New South Wales, it's just entered our summer months, which means it's peak raspberry growing season. I absolutely love looking out into the garden and seeing these beautiful plump little red berries growing. We decided to trellis our raspberries and grow them direct into ground. And I've learned a lot since we put these in. I can see why people say it's popular to grow them in buckets. I had to extend this little homemade trellis thing in an attempt to train them. I say attempt because all these new suckers have popped up on their own. And all this new growth is only about 2 to 3 months old. You can see how much of a tenacious grower it is. Don't get me wrong, it's a great problem to have that we're going to be in an abundance of raspberries, but I'll go over a few things in this video that I'd do differently if I was starting again. We'll have to make sure that we stay on top of these and prune them back so we can access them correctly. There's the chickens doing their part. Appreciate it, girls. This plant's only in its second year. You can see how much fruit we're going to get out of it this season. This is really a great return. When we planted this raspberry, we actually planted 3 different types, and we planted them way too close together. It's recommended that you give them about 50 centimetres, but I'd probably go as far as 3 to 4 feet apart even. If I was redoing this bed, I'd actually only plant the one. You can see that this long, tall, caned variety has become the absolute dominant one in the garden bed. So much so that it's drowned out our smaller Australian bushy native style. This guy is moving quickly and growing in every direction. We're trying to get him to move across this way along this trellis that we've made, and then just maybe cut it back and have it so it's only about 2 feet wide. There's no point having it extremely wide where we can't access the berries in between them. I was wondering who was taking all the ones at the bottom. Looks like we're not the only ones happy that the raspberries are growing. Oh, hello. Raspberries are a pretty good grower. If you've got a dedicated bed like we've set up here, I'd say just let them go and worry about the width more than the length. I know they're popular to grow in pots because people like them contained, but there's something lovely about looking out into the garden and seeing a whole bed dedicated to just raspberries, knowing that you're going to have plenty in the off-season. They do like the soil we've got here, which is a granite rock and sandy type of soil. We also top up the bed with our homemade compost, and we introduce pine chips once a year as we're coming into spring. The berries really like the mulch and the pine mulch that breaks down over time and feeds them. So if you're thinking about introducing raspberries into your garden, a couple of tips would be make sure that you've got a dedicated space. Alternatively, if you're shy on space and you do want to continue to grow them, or you've got soil that doesn't agree with them, growing them in a raised garden bed where you can curate the soil to their needs is probably advisable. Another tip would be maybe just start with one variety and see how it goes. Like we've done here, now it's smothered the other variety that we planted, and we're going to have to prune and stay on top of this pretty vigorously. So make sure you've got enough room, start with one, and make sure you've curated or you've got the right soil that they like. When considering where to plant raspberries, make sure that they're going to get enough sun. Like all berries, they can handle the heat a fair bit. That's why they kind of go into peak production around our summer months. Now, if you've enjoyed this video or you want to see more of the farm, please do consider subscribing so we can continue to grow this channel and grow together. Thanks for your time.